Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Megaquarium, the Freshwater Frenzy Sandbox. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So I'm sorry it's been a little bit of time between episodes here. I have been doing a lot of work at home, completely rebuilding my PC. My big gaming computer here, I've stripped it down to its components. I've actually hoovered out inside the case. I've completely reinstalled Windows, completely reinstalled absolutely every single piece of software on the machine entirely. So it's taken quite a while, and one of the biggest things I've had a problem with is my audio levels. So I really hope that I've got it to a level now where it's sounding okay. Please let me know down in the comments though if it's any worse or indeed any better than it has been in previous episodes, and I'll make changes if needs be. I'm going to play with this for now because I've been playing around with the audio settings for the last couple of hours and I've been trying to get them right, but it's very difficult to try and get them sorted. It's the one thing out of absolutely everything that I forgot to copy across was my settings for Voice Meter, the audio program that I use. So yeah, I lost all of my microphone settings and all of my different filters that I use, all of my equalizer settings, everything. I lost all of that. So I've had to do all of that from the very beginning. And it's been like 3 years since I've had to deal with that stuff. So it's been a bit of a pain to try and get it all sorted. Anyway, in today's episode, we are going to be looking at this room here, maybe even this room as well. I want to try and get some kind of foundation work set up, work out what kind of themes we want in both of these rooms. So first of all, we come to this room here. It's just off the main kind of foyer room here. Now, I'm not going to do anything with foyer for a while now. It's making money, it's okay. We know that it's going to need changing up quite drastically in future, but it will be okay for now. As you can see, it's making a decent amount of ecology, a decent amount of science, and we're actually up to rank 8 now. I got up to rank 8 between episodes there. Just kind of popped over into rank 8. Didn't really have a chance to record it, so it's done. Yeah, we don't want anything to do with that either. So this room here, anyway, let's go on with this. This room here, I want to be like a beachfront type thing. I want to have the Chrysler Tanks in here, and so I want to put those on sand. So the first thing we're going to do, I've got this tropical beach paint here, which has got the sand on the ground. So we're going to put that all over the floor here. And bring it all the way out to the edges. Like that. And then I think we'll do the walls as well. So we got all of these walls done. But what I'm not too sure about is the room just above where the cursor is now. I don't know what to actually theme that as. I was thinking maybe Aztec, but that might be a bit too similar to this the sandy room here. Or maybe go from a beach to a desert, and I can try and mod in some cacti to add around the place. That might be quite cool. I want popcorn cart next. So there we go. There is the floor done. So next we want to have the actual pathways. So I'm going to carry on with this harbourside paint. So if we grab that and bring that down to, let's see, that is 1, 2 and 3 there. And then that goes out this way. That'll be 1, 2, 3 and to here. And that can come down this way as well. Now I think I'm going to want to have it coming into this room here. So if we expand this out, and we want to go like that, to put the entrance in. And then we bring the Pacific paint. Oh, not that one. The Harbourside paint to there. And we also bring this bit out. And then I think I want to bring this, I think for now, all the way to the end. And we'll see if there's a better way of doing that in future. Because we may want this to travel off this way. But I think if we have another entrance off this way here, just like that, then we can have another room coming off this way as well. So yep, go for next one. And just one more little bit of Harbourside paint there. And then we can get the Pacific paint, bring this all the way down into here. And then all the way down here as well. And, oh, one more. There we go. Okay. So we've got the roadway in, which I believe is, yeah, that's 3 down, 3 wide, and 3 wide here. It's weird, but it looks shorter this way than it does this way. And when you turn it around here, and it looks shorter this way than it does this way. I believe in the next update of the game there is going to be a isometric view for the camera, as well as what this is. This is an orthogonal view, which should actually change that kind of thing. So this will actually be square onto the board here, so that this distance from here to here will be exactly the same visual wise as from here to here. And then as we change the camera around, it won't change either. So that's one change that I am really looking forward to in the next update. Caleb, you can increase your feeding. So we have this as the basic areas of the room. Now we're going to want some Chrysler Tanks and stuff in here. We'll try and get those in today. And maybe a lagoon tank with some crustaceans in, something like that. Or one of those big kind of U-tanks, even, with some crustaceans in. But then this room over here. Well, let's have a look at some of the paint options available to us. And just see what we've got for walls and for the floor. Now we could do a polar room, because we've got a modding called the, what is it, the polar plunge, I think it's called. So what's this like? It's a bit busy. And what's the walls like? Because the walls might be quite cool. Not sure. It's okay, but this is really quite busy for a floor. So I believe there is another ice one somewhere. Got another research done. So we are actually researching very fast. That's good. So we scroll down to the bottom. We have this welcoming abyss paint. Here's the U-tank and the tall U-tank. Ooh, donut viewing platform with land tank. That sounds interesting. Oh, we really should get into the terrarium stuff as well. What can I do for terrariums as well? Give me some ideas down in the comments of different themed rooms we can do, like especially for the terrariums. I've never really worked with them before, so it'll be good to know what to actually do with them. We've got the plain paints, which might be a bit boring for this. They're really good in some areas, but not everywhere. We do have cobblestone walls here. What are they like? Oh, I like that. I do like that. Okay. So that's one to bear in mind for walls. But yeah, I just need to have a look through these to see if there's anything we can add in which would be really quite cool. As I say, I was thinking about a kind of like a deep sea room I think, maybe. Or an ice room with some polar stuff in. We've got the Portofino for walls, maybe. We've got not a huge amount else. So just looking through this quickly now. The coral one? What's this? The coral floor I love. This is amazing. Really like that. Coral walls are a little bit samey. So we'd have to use those just as a feature wall, just as something in the background in a very small area. And then filter it in with some other stuff on the walls as well. But this floor I am very, very interested in. So let me have a look through some of these different styles, different themes, and I will try and pick something which might look really quite cool in here. So here we are. I have gone with the coral theme on the ground. I've just gone with a blue wall around the outside just for now, keep it nice and neutral. But the only place we're actually using in this entire room is this area here, which I've done very, very simply with some blue carpet on the floor and blue panelled walls on the edges. And I've also added in all of the other large archways we're going to need. So this is the area we have to play with. This is what we're going to be doing today on this tiny little bit of this room. This roadway might come off into the centre here and then head off up this way, maybe with a bit out to the side here as well. But yeah, I've had an idea for a room later on using both of these themes to create a beach, basically a shoreline with a boardwalk with this like a wooden colour, maybe a balsa wood, something like that, leading down onto a sandy beach with some rocks and stuff on the beach, and then into the sea here, because this is of course like a water pattern. And then we could have that going like all the way along, so you've got like a boardwalk, and then you've got the beach, and then you've got the sea at the other end. It's something I might have a look at between episodes to see if I want to kind of change this room up just a little bit and see if we can get something like that going here. But this isn't really the room we want to be doing that with. It's probably a much bigger room later on, like a quad room maybe, out here somewhere where we can do that, which would mean we probably wouldn't want this as coral in the long term. But for now it's just to distinguish it as a room we are looking at. It's the room we're going to next. And yeah, between episodes I'll have a much deeper play around with the different paints and see exactly what we want to do in there. But anyway, in this room here we want to get the Chrysler Tanks in. So I want to have a look at what kind of Chrysler Tanks we have available to us at the moment. We've got the rounder Chrysler Tanks. These are the big kind of I call them the oil barrel tanks because they're giant. Look at these. Massive. But in this room they may actually be quite good. The biggest thing with them is that you can't really put anything in them, which is a shame because they stick out the bottom. You can see here it's on a pedestal, on a stand, and if you actually put any decorations and stuff in there, the decorations will sit on the floor underneath the tank rather than being in the tank. So I don't really want to use those. I still think that these regular vanilla Chrysler tanks are actually really very good. We can put a couple of things in the cylinder Chrysler tanks. However, to be honest, the only thing we actually have to put in a Chrysler tank at the moment is this Pacific sea nettle. So we're only going to need one of these. So how big are these? 5 to 10. They can only be housed with creatures of their own kind. The other inverts. So I mean, we could put 2 of them into a Chrysler tank here. I seem to remember though the tendrils on this thing stick out the side of these cylinder Chrysler tanks. So it's probably better if we do actually have. I mean, we could put 6 of them in here, couldn't we? That might be an interesting way to do it. So we'll grab out one of these tanks. I'm not going to put the animals in just yet because we will want to get everything done before we get any staff in here and do all of that kind of stuff. So we've just got the U tank. The next thing I actually want to get is these generators. So we've got the exothermic generator and the endothermic generator here. They're going to be much better than these turbo heaters and turbo chillers we've got. So I'm going to get these and swap all of that out. So we've got one tank in here. Now that's not really going to do it, is it? So if we have a look at the tanks, we've got the raised tank. Not raised tank, the U tank. Another fisher's done. Got you. So let's just have a look at U tank. Oh, okay. Doesn't really search that well. Where are they then? So if we have a look at... Oh, one thing I did want to have a look at with this as well is whether we can separate this off with tanks, like these sunken deep outcrop tanks, and not just a wall. I think that would be quite cool. So let's have a look at the tanks. We scroll down. We've got stuff like Belfast tank. We've got... What else? We do have the modular tanks, and we do also have some of the mega tanks as well. And also these big beach tanks. I think we have to scroll pretty far down to get... Oh yeah, there's the U tank. So if we got one of these, and it's just that size, but we can put two of these together like that, and that will give us a decent amount of options to put into there, or we could even move this around to that side and we can have them that way. But I do think that these seem to be a bit better if you put them in that way. And we could also have them like this, and that would be okay. And we could also have them like this, no, like that, and then have this bit here as just a little staff room. Get a staff door, put that on there, and then you can actually put in a... Oh, okay. So apparently you can't, because you can't put a bit of wall in there. That's a shame. But yeah, the U-tanks are an option. And then the other option I thought of was these big beach tanks here. Now these are huge. Some of these ones are. So we have a Peninsula beach tank. This Lakeview beach tank is actually really quite interesting. So we just place that down. You can't change the size of it, but it is massive. Look at that. So if we put that, just say there, then we'd have loads and loads of space for land dwelling animals, some space in the middle for some other different swimming type animals. And then I think that might be quite a cool one to add in. Maybe even up at the back, kind of like that, and then we have just a little pathway coming off towards it just there. So I do quite like that idea. We'll keep that one in. Now we do also have some of these other beach tanks, and we'll have a look at these now as well. All of these are modded ones. So we've got a small beach tank with editable land. So if we do that, now how do you edit the land? Is it just because you can extend this out to be more like sea, more water, and that's the change? Do we have the other small beach? Let's have a look at the beach. So we have a small beach tank here. Oh, okay. Is it we do this and scroll this way? No. There's one of the generators. We'll get the next generator now, and then we'll get that big bridge tank type thing. Okay, so we can't extend it forwards or backwards. Just trying to work out what the difference between these two tanks is. Let's have a look. There's no difference in the size of the land. They all look very, very same. But it does say it has editable land. I'm not too sure how to use this. If you do know, let me know down in the comments. And I'll certainly use that in the future. But for now, it's a bit puzzling. So I'm going to leave it alone. We've got this tank here, which is ridiculously huge. And also apparently can't be placed. Yeah, I mean that's massive. I'm not fully sure how you'd use that. I think that would have to be used as like a gap between two rooms. Let's get rid of these ones just for now. So we've got a bit of room to play around with some of these ones. And next one we've got the we've seen this lake view, and we've got this central lake view one as well. Ooh, that's even bigger. But apparently won't fit in anywhere. Okay. So what's... I don't get why it won't fit in anywhere else. Okay, it'll fit in over here. So it would fit in, say, there. I mean, that is just massive, isn't it? It's huge. And it is ridiculously big. So we'd have to put it somewhere like there. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure if it would work. I think I prefer this one for this room. Just because this is so big. I think it takes up a bit too much. And we've got the Peninsula beach tank as well. Which again is interesting. But I don't get why we can't put them here. It's probably something to do with this tank. We could make that look quite interesting. I quite like the fact that it's got a behind the scenes bit here. But again, I think that this lake view beach tank is going to be best. So yeah, I need to have a look around at some other options for tank layouts. And maybe get a bit more of this research done so that we've got that big donut tank with the land in the centre. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more research and work out exactly which tanks. I just wanted to show you the different type of modded land tanks we've got in here. So yeah, see you in a minute. Okay, so I think this gives us a decent amount of tank space to add in. We've actually now got at least 4 different types of animals which will use Chrysler tanks. So I've researched all of these here. So we can put those into 4 of them, and then we can use the other 2 for something else. I'm not too sure yet. We'll work that out next episode. Exactly what we're going to add into these tanks. And then I've got 4 of these big odd shaped or odd U lagoon tanks here. And these, I'd quite like to put some crabs and crustaceans in, some of the arthropods, and some of these sea urchins into one of them, And then maybe we'll have a freshwater one as well, but this is more of a kind of beachy type scene, so maybe we'll keep this to saltwater in here. Up at the back here we've got a lot of space, well, a decent amount of space anyway for staff stuff. And then down at the bottom here we have enough room for some of the vending machines and stuff that we're going to add in now. So I want to add one of these, a couple of these modern benches in. I do love these things. This is another one of my creations. So I'm going to add those in now, and I'll just show you these because they really are quite cool. So it's a 1x3, so you can fit 3 people on at any time, sitting from either direction, and they do look cool. They remind me of the benches we used to get in school to do like PE and stuff with, and or physical education with, and you used to use them in primary schools for assemblies. You get all the people in the top classes sitting on the benches, and everybody else has to sit on the floor. That's one of the best things about reaching year 6, as in the UK we call it, was you get to sit on the benches in assemblies. And then over here I've got this different type of bench as well. This is the log bench. It's just a 1x2. Works just as a regular bench, but it does look pretty cool. So there are the 2 types of benches we've got in here at the moment. So next we want to add in some of the stuff at the back. This is going to be fairly quick and simple actually, because we're going to want a popcorn. I'm going to leave a space at the side for some bins, and then we'll have, I'm going to save a bit here for a shark hat stand, so we'll go there for that one. The next one we want is a coffee machine, so we'll place that on there and there. And then chocolates, and then a fizzy drink. Now we may move these around and spread them out a little bit around here, but we are also going to want a couple of other things around here. So we'll have, the bins. Just going to add those in like that. We may want a couple of bins around here as well, but we'll wait until it gets messy. Once we start putting all the talks and stuff in, we'll get messy stuff around there as well. And then at the back here, I think I will actually add in a couple of copper band toy shelves. We'll go like that. And we want the balloon shelves as well. So we'll put those like that. Don't really want the guidebook ones, but I'll be okay. And then maybe a couple of just little data signs by the walls just there. Okay, so that's alright for that section. We've got benches in, we've got to put in some toilets. So I'm thinking about a couple of toilets at either end. So if we put in, go for the toilets first. I think we'll do 3 at either side. That should be okay. And then we can add in, where do we want this? So this wants to come down like that. Trying to work out how to do this. So if we do that, and I suppose we can just kind of do that, we'd have a staff door there, and we would have a generic door. Actually no, let's do a sliding door. Let's put another one of these in. So we'd have that one come out there, or we'd also want to take out that and that, and we'd add this one into there. So now we have a door in. I suppose we could actually do something like this. Might be a little bit strange, but we do that. We've got a little bit of a staff bit just here where we can add in a sponge sink, just like that. We've got plenty of space behind here for the tanks, or for the pumps and the heaters and coolers, and then we'll do pretty much exactly the same over here. So we've got these bits go down like that, that bit comes to there and out by one, and then we have that coming across just like that. So then we want to take out that bit, and that bit. You add in a sliding door just there. We have two staff doors, one there and one there. Okay, so there's toilets done, plenty of space in the middle for the stuff, for the staff stuff. I suppose we could do with putting a couple of staff doors in as well. So the way I usually do the staff doors is we've got these kind of natural gaps coming down here, and then we'd have one there and one there. It just means there's plenty of access for the staff going in and out of these areas, because this is where all the food's going to be as well for in here. So next episode we're going to have to assign some staff to this room. We're going to have to get all of the networking in, going to have to get all of the animals and the vegetation in, and we're going to have to zone the room for the staff as well. But I think that is where we're going to end it for today. It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode today than it has been in the past. I want to try and reduce the episode times down a bit, get them to about 25-30 minutes rather than the kind of 35-40 minutes that I've been doing. I think that's a little bit long for an episode, so I will try to keep them a little bit more concise and a little bit more progress in each episode. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.